Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Slippy and Thrifty Show. I am Thrifty, and this is my
Slippy.
partner here,
Hello, everybody.
Slippy. How you doing, Slippy?
I'm very well, very well. Ah, Mikey's turned up.
Has that provided a sore spot for you?
No, I just think we can bully him for the whole life.
Ah.
Okay. I think that's fair, don't you?
He's a channel member as well as Sean. And you're going to bully your channel members?
Yes. Yes, indeed I am.
All right. That sounds about like right.
Yep.
How's everybody doing today? Who we got in here? We have... Let me go back to the top.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people
Curtis,
in already.
Marco, Gaz, FM. Hello, guys. We have Sean, as I mentioned. And we have Gaz FM, which I already mentioned. And we have Eric Starr. Hi, Eric. Good to see you guys.
Frank Olivo's in here too.
Frank Olivo.
Kirby's just come in. Welcome.
Kirby Creek. How's it going, guys?
Got the resident friendo is in here as well.
Randy. How you doing, buddy? Let me know how you're doing down there, buddy.
Mike Curtis is here. Hope everything's going well with your wife, Mike. We're all still thinking about her.
Yes, we're still thinking about you, Mrs. C.
Oh my God, Toad's here. He's turned up on time.
Howdy, folks. How you doing, buddy?
Got El Cap in here. Hey, El Cap, how's it going?
So did you watch Singing Toad recently?
I have not. I'm way behind. I'm behind on everybody's content because I'm slacking.
Well,
he has changed his channel name.
Yeah, he was quite emotional this week. He was quite upset with some community issues that I guess apparently one of his channel friends was having. So hopefully that all worked itself out.
Yeah, hopefully everything's fine. Don't want any bad stuff going on. Can't be dealing with all that sort of stuff. There's enough real problems going on for people just pissing about.
We don't want any drama in the knife community.
We just want jackassery and knives.
Right. The more knives, the better. The more jackassery, the better.
100%. 100%.
So, won't you introduce today's episode topic?
Okay, so today we're going to talk about how we sort of see users versus safe queens. What makes a knife a user for us? What makes a knife a safe queen for us? Do we collect both? Do we use them all or just collect certain ones? Just a lot of different topics about why we feel each way about each sort of category. But we both have quite similar views on users versus safe queens, but then again, we have different views on other parts of it. Like I use a lot more of my collection than John uses, things like that. And I don't really have a set rotation of stuff, but it's hard to pin down what I would class as a user for me or a safe queen, unless it really is, like something special. But we'll jump into all that in a bit. Mikey has been a member.
Can we give a shout out to our topic introducer?
Yes. So Tobacco Ridge, is that what he's still called now, or we call him something else now?
I think that's what he still is. So yeah, we can call him that.
Yeah. So Tobacco Ridge suggested this topic to us. So a big shout out to him. Hopefully he'll turn up at some point today and we can say thank you.
Yeah. I just want to make sure he got credit for today's topic because he just suggested it and then I threw it at you and you were like, yeah, that sounds like a good one.
Yeah, it's better than anything I could think of at that time, I tell you that.
But yeah, it looks like Toad's got a new logo. Are you going to be making a sticker of that Singing Toad? Or is that just Just something I decided to use. I'm gonna be getting a new sticker. That would be
So
great.
Gaz has sort of the opposite outlook to how I have for a couple of knives. So he says it's a safe queen for about a week and then a user as soon as he buys another. For me, when I buy a new knife, I want to carry it immediately. It doesn't matter what it is. And then after about a day, I realize I probably shouldn't, and then it gets put away.
I'm a little more disciplined, I think.
I don't know what it is. You're able to get a new knife, look at it and go, that's nice, and then put it away.
I mean, you make it sound like a bad thing.
I don't get
it. You make it sound like a bad thing. No, I look at it and admire it, and I wonder if. Then I pull out the ones that I've been carrying, and I look at them and I go, "Man, that thing's beat the heck."
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm not going to let that happen to this nice new shiny thing. So it's a deterrent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you guys, you don't look at your stuff you're carrying and compare it. That's what you need to do.
Yeah. Well, I compare my original compact to other new Swiss Army knives I've got, and it looks like someone's thrown it off a cliff. It's just it's a terrible condition. All right.
Yeah, but you probably try to convince yourself, I'll only carry just enough for it. Maybe gets that first scratch, and then I'll put it away.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, like, oh no. Or what we could do is just wrap it in a cloth and go drop it outside.
Oh, man, that's harsh.
Do you know anyone that's done that, John?
I have. Does everybody know that story? Why don't you tell them that story?
So was it the Danny's exclusive buck? Was it a 110?
Yeah, it was the one. No, it was actually one that
was it the SMKW exclusive?
Yeah.
It was... So John took it outside to take some pictures of it for a video inside a microfiber, and then promptly dropped it on the floor and put a big ding in it.
It was a concrete driveway, actually.
Yeah,
it was damaged for life. Did you? And then whenever I did the video, and I actually admitted to that, because obviously it was going to be obvious when I had the pictures of it and the big old dings in it. And somebody
it's worthless now.
Quickly let me know in the comments that all appreciable value was lost, and it would never be something he would buy ever. I'm like, well, I wasn't offering it for sale.
Good job I'm not selling it then, son.
Thank you.
So Toad said it's not his official logo yet. He's having one design. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Looking forward to seeing that.
By a contracted local artist. All right. So they responded, yeah, I can do that for you,
eh? New logo, eh?
Yeah. That sounds fantastic.
All right. We're ready to go on to the first sort of
whatever.
stuff?
Whatever.
Yeah. All right. So what determines whether a knife is a user or a safe queen? So for me, the big sort of what makes it more of a user for me is the modern versus traditional. Versus, because then you've got like the convenience of the one hand opening, or if it's got a flipper tab, something like two of the knives I use the most is like a Civivi Praxis Mini. One I use quite a lot, and it is convenient, especially if you've only got one hand free. You can just flip it out and go. I don't know, I'm not a massive fan of modern knives, but D2 steel and just something you can just use and abuse and not really give too many cares about it and just beat it to hell. Plus, I've got no trouble lending this to someone to use. Like, I don't care what they do to it. It's not one I'm going to cry about if it gets damaged or the blade gets chipped. What about you, John? What pretty much similar sort of thing?
My comparative type knife would be the Scanzo. And I absolutely beat the crap out of it. I don't really care what happens to it.
Yeah. It becomes a pry bar. I know everything. Screwdriver, whatever. You wouldn't use any other knife for.
Yeah, it's one of those knives where I think when I first got it, it was like pretty disappointed in its performance, and it really did require that those springs get broken in. I'm at a loss for what those were called now. Omega springs, I think. And I thought of it just now. But yeah, they need a little adjustment. But yeah, it's just it's just nothing. It's just not a knife I have zero emotional attachment to. I mean, I don't care. It's just nothing different than a screwdriver to me, right?
Yeah, it's just another
Um,
tool.
just a
Memo's here,
tool.
and he said, pretty good point. Something we will get onto at some point in this as well, I'm sure. So, Safe Queen could be an inexpensive knight with high sentimental value. I'm
Sure.
100% agree, Mimo. I have 3 or 4 Rough Riders that have been gifts from John, and they're very sentimental to me, and I wouldn't dream of using those because I know
Oh,
what happened. I'd use them, I'd break them, and then they're not exactly ones that are available now either, so it'd be impossible to get replacements.
yeah.
But even traditional knives to me, if like I recently picked up an old 33 OT USA made. Blade's not in the best condition you'll see him. And I want to say not in the best condition. What I mean is terrible. You can see how used that blade is. But this will become a user for me. There's
I
plenty there
call
left to
those
use.
I call those vampire fingernails.
Pretty much, yeah, not far off. But I'll sharpen the blade up, put a nice little edge on it, and I have no problem carrying and using this and hard using it because if it breaks, oh well, it's not exactly a safe queen. But that sort of
You
stuff.
know where I see a lot of blades like that?
Where's that?
On eBay, priced way too high.
Yeah, not surprised. But that's the sort of the battle I'm having between modern and traditional is traditional knives maybe that aren't in the best condition when I get them, maybe secondhand, or if I buy a traditional knife just to be a user. But most of my traditional knives, the ones that I really enjoy, they're not sort of safe queens as such. I just won't use them as much or as hard. Do you have the same sort of outlook about those, John?
I don't know. I just kind of set aside what I thought I want to carry
Mm,
for, the immediate future. And then I kind of had a group of like 5 knives that I would, or in the early days, I guess.
yeah,
This has kind of evolved over time, but I would have like 5 knives that I would set out for a week and then just choose among those 5. And then the following week, I'd pick out another 5
yeah,
and another 5 and another 5. And I think I got up to around 65, 80 knives. And I was like, okay, need to slow down on the whole, having 5 a week thing. And now I've got more of a more natural rotation where it's just knives that make sense to carry rather than
yeah.
just having it something new. But here's an example of one carried quite often, and
OTH.
this is kind of the knife that can do everything pretty well. Maybe not the best at any one particular task, but it just does everything pretty well. So it's kind of an all rounder. And I've sewn this so many times, I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. But just the 50th Bruin, the D2 steel. This is from the Heritage series.
Yeah, D2 steel is just a fantastic steel to have as a user. It's just because how tough it is, and because obviously it's not super steel anymore like it was maybe 10 years ago. They're so affordable as well for D2.
Yeah. But I don't know. I keep it sharp all the time, and it's not like my keychain cherry. This is one that actually does ride in the pocket all the time,
Yeah,
not on keys or
just getting beat up doesn't matter.
yeah. Just it gets a lot of tossed around and beat around, and this is another one that I've kind of made more of a mainstay in the pocket. This is nice because it's pretty hard to mess up these scales, so
Yeah.
it doesn't
Gaz
really do.
FM's got a good point here. So he's got like 4 sort of topics. He's got categories. He's got beaters,
Mhm.
we doesn't really care about work knives that he's got for just work. He's got users and then safe queens as well. So I'd say I'd probably fit in quite in line with that, to be honest, because I definitely have, I'd say, knives in each of those categories.
I think that's a really good way of putting it because I have knives like that as well. Just like yeah, rather than call this a user, that would be maybe more astute to call it a beater.
Yeah,
It's just gets thrashed for all the tasks that you wouldn't want to perform with any other knife.
yeah. Gary Lyman is my new favorite person.
Is he? My sack compact. Well, look at you. That's his very favorite sack. So
yeah, Memo's an agreement as well. It's hard to find better edge retention for the money you can spend on D2. It's honestly, you can't really. D2 is my favorite steel. I know Mikey Newman's with me on this as well. It's a great steel. So what? It might take a little bit of rust. You just get over it for the price you're paying.
Yeah. I mean, and seriously, if you're taking care of it, you're not going to get it. Like, I've never had any bit of rust on this blade ever.
I haven't got any issues with any of my D2 knives. They're all fantastic.
I mean, you could tell it's been used and it's got a little bit of a more grayish patina to it, but it has no rust. Excuse me, no rust at all. So, not a problem.
No. So moving on a little bit further down then to sort of cheap versus expensive. So for me, cheap versus expensive doesn't really bother me. I know a lot of people won't use expensive knives for like fear of loss, but I pretty much make a point. If I spend enough money on a knife, it's because I want to use it. I know people have different thoughts of that to me, but for example, I've got a GEC here, which is the number 94, and this is one. Like last month, I used it a hell of a lot. See, the blade's practically gone like black. This has had a lot of use. When I carry a lot, it's a great little knife. And along with that, I carry my Jack Wolf knife Javelina a lot as well. Both of which are expensive knives, but I bought this to try it, and then after I got it, I just thought it would be a great work knife, and that's pretty much what I use it for. Got the S90V steel, like a super steel. Holds an edge ridiculously well. And I mean, it's got the micarta, so it's extra grippy. I did dye it green as well. It's gone a bit darker now with the hand oils. But I have no trouble using this knife as a work knife.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the expensive versus the cheap, John?
Well, I don't have really a problem with using a more expensive knife. It's just more happenstance for me that I don't have a particularly expensive knife that I use quite a bit.
Yeah.
I would say probably the most expensive costing knife that I have that I use quite a bit is a 110. It was one of the ones that I sent in for refurbish.
Yeah.
And I just love that knife because when I bought it, it was like pretty thrashed. And then to see it come back.
Yeah, new blades and the handle of history.
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab that one if you don't mind. Give me in a second.
Yeah, go on.
But like I said, I forgot to get out some of the knives today.
That's right. I've got a few more to talk about with cheap versus expensive anyway. So I also have here a Queen made Shatton Morgan, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than I paid for a Jack Wolf knife and some of my other knives. But this is one I will not ever use or carry, just because it's a USA company. It's no longer making anymore. The fit and finish on it is immaculate. I know the license, we're not doing the bone any justice. But I think it was a limited run of 1 of 600, I believe. Yeah, it does say on the blade there of 600. Shatton Morgan. Queen made in Titusville. Yeah, by Queen Cutlery Co. That's never going to focus there, but the blades are outstandingly mirror polished. And it's just one that I would be, if I damaged it, I'd be pretty devastated if I damaged this one. Yeah, Gaz has got it. The fear of losing a rare knife. That's more what I won't carry for me.
Yeah, so this is the one I'm referring to, and
let's bring you up so we can have a better
yeah.
Look
This was an old 2-dot before they put the new blade on it. So the refurb included a new blade. But that's my favorite, like larger knife to carry. And I don't carry it a ton, but when I do carry it, it's like when I know I'm going to be away from the house quite a while. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
When I'm going somewhere and I just need something that I can throw in the little pouch on the side of my belt. But yeah, when I know that I might run into anything that day, that's my kind of like, all right, I'll I'll take something that can handle just about anything. But it's got the more squared off bolsters, and you can see
it's really nice. They did a great job of that. I love how they left the wood alone and just sort of
you can see all the scratches,
the dings out of it and stuff. I think it's really cool.
And there's that side too.
That's the new blade on there, Mikey. The old blade, if you saw it, it wasn't really a blade anymore.
Yeah, it was just like 3/4.
There was about it was about third missing of it.
So I mean, I could zoom in a little more, but it's a modern blade on it.
It's like a 22 or 23 blade, isn't it?
22. That's a favorite that I carry. It's a little more expensive, I guess, than my normal carry. But yeah, I don't know. I don't happen to have a super expensive one that I carry. Like the GEC that I have is like it's just not really suited for like a everyday carry. And then
it's the golden what do they call it? The handle material like the bone,
golden rod, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
But another thing is like a lot of to be a 110. Well, I have a nice user 110, so I don't need to carry those, like the elk handle ones or whatever, So it's just happenstance.
That's pretty much how I am as well. So like if a good example for that would be the Pioneer X. So I've recently started collecting all the different colored versions. I'll just show them in my disco balls. So I've got a couple of different versions here. So I've got a red, the 24, 23, and 22. These are all Pioneer X. But for me, I don't see the need to carry those when I have the original silver one. Just think if I want to carry a Pioneer X, I would just go out with the silver one.
Did you see this comment?
Go on, bring it up.
I've lost it.
So I would just go ahead and carry the original, because so many of these categories we've got even on slide 2 sort of fit together. So I haven't got any fear of losing this, because I know if I lose it, I can just pick another one up straight away. Whereas the 23, the 22, and the 20 or the 21, I mean, they're all sold out, so I've got no chance of picking up again unless I want to play like way over retail for them. Right. And I mean, the original silver one, I think this is like £30 to £40 here in the UK. Whereas if I want to replace one of the other ones off the secondary market, it's going to be at least double that. And I'm not prepared to pay double when I can just carry the silver one and just use it that way.
Right.
But if none of you have tried the Pioneer X, I really would recommend it. It's a great knife.
That's one I still need to get, actually.
Yep.
But Elon says, or El Cap Addict says about Elon, as he uses bug out so much, becomes a de facto sentimental. So I don't know if that means like you've carried it so much now you don't carry it because now it's like a knife that's sentimental to you. Is that what you're saying?
It's been with you so long you don't want to lose it. And I've actually have an example of that, so I'm glad that was brought up. So for my 21st birthday, my father bought me a Victorinox Climber, and I still have it. So it's about, how old am I now? Nearly 33. So it's nearly 12, 13 years old. And I carried it once recently, and then halfway through the day I had to put it away because I was scared I was going to lose it. And it's not even in the best condition. It's a Silvertech. Can you bring me up, John? Is that all right?
Sure, yeah.
So it's a Silvertech. It's been beat to hell. The scales are cracked on it. I don't know if you can see up here. They're cracked. The blades have all been used. I mean, you can see they're not the best. This was before I was like really good at sharpening, so they're a bit wobbly here. And I'm not gonna lie and say I was amazing at sharpening all the time, because I wasn't. You can see the main blade's taking a bit of a hit, but I don't want to lose it. It's too sentimental for me to lose this knife. So this is a safe queen for me now. I must have carried it every day for 7 years plus. And now, because I'm just too scared to lose it, I won't carry it. But so I understand the comment. Like, after a while of carrying it, you get attached to it, because I'm fully attached to this and I don't want to lose it.
One of the things I've done, like with this one particular, because I was concerned about that sort of thing happening.
Yeah.
Because I went ahead and got a second one in case I should ever lose it or they become discontinued and I can't get them anymore.
Funny you should say that, because I bought a red one to carry, so I wouldn't have to worry about losing it.
There you go.
But it's just not the same to me, because it's not the
Yeah,
Silvertail.
it's not. Right. It's not the same.
I mean, I did end up putting the plus scales on it to have the pen and stuff, but it's not going to have the same spot as the Silvertech will have for me.
No. But you can get the enjoyment of, knowing that it's got all the same feature and utility as the one you're not using. So
Frank's got a question. Have I ever lost a knife? Yes.
On that same topic of I've lost knives, but that was prior to me collecting. I haven't lost one since I've started.
Yeah, also. So just if I just go through this one. So when I was about 10, I got bought I think it might have been a tourist, because I remember it being a Spartan shape, but there's no way I was bought a full-size Spartan. So it was a little tiny Swiss Army knife. It might have been a Bantam or something. Honestly, it was so long ago, I can't remember. But I did have one at about 10 and I lost it. So yes, but recently, no, I've been very lucky. Since I started collecting, I haven't lost anything.
Yeah, and I lost that King Cutter Girl Scout knife, which was my first. And then I lost another like imitation style 110, but it was more like about the size of, it's probably about a 3 1/4 inch knife, I guess. And I lost that, which that one meant probably even more than the Girl Scout one, because that was one I carried a lot when I was a kid. And I think I lost that in the woods. I used to go out in the woods a lot, and being brown, and it was in the fall, and just leaves everywhere.
You ain't finding that. You put it down next to you and it's gone.
It was a.
So Randy's got a good comment down here as well. So his clothes dictate what he will or will not carry. So it's very similar for me. Like in the summertime, my carry is a lot lighter, because obviously I'm in lighter shorts or trousers. Well, just shorts really. So I don't want to carry anything too heavy. So I'll probably have like a light slip, maybe just carry one knife rather than a slip with two in. Because my normal sort of carry would be in this. But in like lighter shorts, that's going to be too heavy. So I might just carry the Sod Buster by itself, just loose, or might just carry a Swiss Army knife in my pocket. But yeah, I agree with you there, Randy. It's very similar. RJ's turned up. Hey, RJ.
What's going on, RJ?
How you doing?
And there was something else I was going to mention. I'll come back to it because I can't remember what it was, but about the duplicate. Oh, it was about the duplicating of the knives. There was another knife that I bought, the original OG white sow belly that I got from the SMKW.
Yeah.
And after kind of this whole evolution into doing the channel and starting to collect and things, that knife became ever more important. And I didn't want to. I've bought multiple of that as well. So I would always have a white one if I ever had to go back to it from losing or something, something were to happen to it. Because you just never know, especially with like SMKW, like with Rough Riders and that, you don't know when they may just up and decide, oh, we're not going to do that one anymore. Especially if it's one of those types that you just kind of take for granted that they're going to continue to make, like the white smooth bone. You don't know. They could just decide tomorrow that, oh, we're done with that.
But like on this, exactly on that exact same knife. So you dyed one for me, like try to get as close to my channel colors as possible.
Right.
So this is the white sow belly just dyed. So this is one I will not carry. I did carry it for a few days, but I was too worried that it would get lost or damaged or I'd break the bone. So this is one that's going to be a safe queen for me. There's a couple of knives that John has sent over. So this is just the normal sort of Rough Rider white bone sow belly. But there's a special place for it, so it's forever a safe queen. But you did a great job on dyeing the bone, John.
Yeah, I wish it had taken a little more, but it looks pretty good.
But I mean, all the knives you sent over have pretty much become safe queens. Like the canoe you found me of what was that series? Ocean Wave series? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Ocean Wave.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite Rough Rider series. And John managed to find one on the secondary market, so it's like this. Isn't it like pearl handles with like a dye in it, or similar? So it really does move in the light. You can kind of see it moving there at the top.
Yeah, got some iridescence to it.
Yeah, it's really cool. But this will forever be a safe queen on that exact sentimental value. But I think this one is definitely one of the best series Rough Rider have done. Way better than, I know I love the Spade series, but I would say this is better for me.
Wow.
It just is. I just really like what they've done with the handle material on there. I think they did a great job with it.
So we got a comment keep making it? Oh, okay. Yeah, they keep making them until they don't. That's just exactly it. I mean,
yeah,
you just never know. You just never know. And when they're gone, and then maybe you go to the secondary market if you're lucky. They still have one or two around, but I don't want
Mrs.
to take
C's here. Mrs. C, how you doing? We hope you're doing well.
We hope you're doing well, Mrs. C. Been thinking about you.
So I know this is one that's bigger for you, John. It's preserving the knife for future considerations. Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, so this one's a little bit kind of one of those things where you kind of thinking ahead. And I know a lot of us don't do that necessarily. We're kind of just quick to want to use the knife. But sometimes, like, you get a hold of a knife or you have the little bit of extra in the wallet at a particular time, and you buy a knife that will probably be somewhat collectible to someone else. And I've bought knives like that where maybe they weren't necessarily for me to use, and I knew they would probably just end up being safe queens. But then at the same time, be like, okay, well, I could use this as a trade item down the road for something that I would really, really like.
Yeah.
So maybe you buy a second of a knife that you already have, or it's a knife that you think will probably be one that other people will appreciate as it, becomes more difficult to get a hold of. So sometimes I'll buy knives like that where it's just, used for trade for something that I know I may want that's going to be along the same level of hard to get, So when you have that kind of a trade item for something that's hard to get for another item that's hard to get, that makes for a good swap. Both sides get something they would like. So it's just sort of
I've not thought of that at all. I don't think I have any.
Yeah.
Just thinking about, like, would I want to part with any of the ones I've kept? No.
Yeah.
I don't think I could part.
I don't often have the funds to do that, but there's occasions when I've done that. I'm thinking, okay, I've got a little extra, and I can tell you one that happened with, and that was the Winter Magic, the Winter Magic knife that we bought.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
that's a phenomenal one. That one.
I had gotten one from you, so my needs were satisfied, and then they came up on Smoky Mountain Knife Works after I'd already gotten the one from you, and only had to pay just the retail price for it. But I knew, that would be a knife that people would necessarily want down the road. It's collectible, and so I've just kind of got that in the back of my mind as like, okay, I can use that as a trade should I ever need to find something hard to get.
No, it makes sense. It's a wonderful knife. I wish I picked up a few more, but then again, it's like, do I really want to pick up more? I'd rather let someone else just buy them at retail.
I only bought one. It's not like I was going to hoard a bunch of them,
Yeah, it's not like you bought like the whole stock and was just like, $200 each now.
No. I kind of saw how much they were going for at the time. I was going to try to buy one.
Well, you sent me that link, didn't you, on eBay? Wasn't it like $250 or something for one? There was one that was ridiculous.
It was exorbitant. There was, on eBay. It was one of those where, they probably asked for it, but probably didn't get it kind of thing. But
yeah, there was one. There's a seller on Etsy at the moment who has them for £120, which is literally double what they were new, from retail. I just think that's disgusting.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a limited sack. So, and it is what it is.
I love this channel name. Mid-Knife
Crisis. Yeah,
that's excellent. Okay,
I've
so
never
we've
seen
also got.
that's not somebody we've had in the
No,
channel
I think
before.
this is
So
new.
I want to welcome
So
them.
welcome, welcome,
Yes, welcome to the live.
jackassery. So another one we've got here is sort of budget steel versus high-end steel. So some people might collect for edge retention, or you might want to collect different types of steel, or you might only use knives that hold an edge well. Maybe you do a lot of outdoor work, things like that, and you want a super steel. But for me, the steels I use go from everything from like real low end, like 3CR, all the way up to S90 and higher. The steel for me doesn't warrant what's a collector and what's not.
I'm
Because
with you on that.
I have case knives with true sharp stainless steel, which I would say are collector knives. And like that Jack Wolf knife I use, that's S90V, along with the Spyderco Urban and S90V. For me, it doesn't matter the steel. If the knife's going to be a user, it's going to be a user, whatever it is. Or if it's going to be a safe queen, it'll be a safe queen. The steel doesn't really bother me that much. I mean, I'm able to sharpen. I'm not the best, but I can sharpen a knife, so it doesn't bother me what I use is for steel. I know you're the same way, John.
Yeah, I don't buy for blade steel very often. I mean, like there's been some buck stuff that's been pretty cool that I've bought, and a lot of that had to do with the blade steel on them, but I just happen to like those knives no matter what the blade steel, and that was what they were offering. So like the Laren or the recent 110 and 112 with the Magna Cut. But it's not something that I worry over. Like that's not going to prevent me from. I think the only blade steel is going to prevent me from probably buying it is like 3CR or something like that. It's just
I've got a couple of
usually
those. They're real
usually
soft
the
steel.
knife itself isn't made well if it has 3CR. Not always, but like I could think of some Imperial knives probably not made particularly well that have 3CR on them.
Yeah, I got the cracked ice series, the black cracked ice. I think it's called. I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, I bought a couple of those, so I'm not opposed to even buying those. But I don't know some of the Frost stuff or whatever, just really low end stuff. But other than that, I mean, I just buy whatever I like, and the kind of blade steel is usually secondary to my considerations.
Angelo, welcome. Thank you very much for signing up. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Angelo. So yeah, I just say it's low on the priority list.
And I was waiting for this comment.
What's that? Pot metal steel with a paw boss. Oh, okay. The 420J2. Yep.
I love the 420J2.
So I mean, I bought plenty of those.
I think it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I've got what have I got in the J2 that I use a lot? So I've got the canoe, the wood grain canoe in the J2.
See, there's a sentimental one that I would never use that's got J2 because this was given to me by my father-in-law, and he's up on 90 right now. I don't know how much he's going to be longer. He's going to be around.
Is that the Solo or the Deuce?
This is the Solo.
So yeah, I've got this is the one I use quite a lot, the canoe version, the wooden version. This is the J2 one. I've sharpened it myself, and it takes a screaming edge. Yeah, the edge rotation might not be that bad, but might not be that amazing, but it's perfectly good for an EDC. Would not bother me at all using this. Happy to abuse it. See the blades that have got a bit of scratches all over it. It's got a bit of blade rub you can see up here at the top here, but doesn't bother me. It's a user for me.
Have you not used the Walmart one?
I have not used the Walmart one. Do you know why, John?
Because I gave it to you. I don't know.
Because it's a sentimental knife and I can't replace it.
Yeah, you can't get those over there, can you?
Yeah. So this is a safe. Well, it's in that category of it'll be carried, but not hard used. You know the categories. Right. Who said it earlier on about the categories? Was it Gaz? So you got like the abused knife, your work knife, your carry, and your safe queen. So this is a carry for me.
A careful carry.
A careful carry, yeah. This is more the kind that I would carry and just an admirable knife. So you pull it out, you fondle it, and then put it away. That sort of carry.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're getting back on the Mrs. Thee thing. Oh, let's look at this one from Toad here. It says Husk knives handcrafted a 420J2 using traditional Japanese samurai forging techniques and the best kitchen knives on all time. So yeah, the whole comments, I think we go back to that video that I did of the canoe that we just showed, the 389. There's so many comments about how people would never buy it.
We had a great laugh reading those comments, didn't we? Some of them are so
funny. It was one every, therefore when it was that video was particularly popular, there was a comment every week, that we could enjoy and have to laugh at. But,
it was fun to kind of wind you up a bit as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a big one. The next one, I know a lot of people are probably saying this and have said they don't have Walmart in the UK. Frank, John sent these over for me.
Yeah, that's right.
So limited edition versus standard. So I touched on this earlier with the Pioneer X's. So I would only really use my standard one and not touch the limited editions because they're not really available anymore. I know there might still be the 2024 because I know people weren't a big fan of the color. This is the Terra Brown, but I'm quite a big fan of it. I really like it. Sort of a goldy sort of color. So this is the 24. 3-layer Pioneer X. So these might still be available, but the ones like, so you got the bright yellow one here, is it the electric yellow, I think was the 23. This I won't carry, I'll keep this nice. And along with the 22 as well, which was the Thunder Grey, I believe they called it. So you got the 22. But yeah, all these are safe queens for me. They don't get used because I have a Pioneer X in the standard configuration that I'm happy just sort of to use and abuse. While we're on, you got me on the large screen, John. I'll show that the Winter Magic we were talking about a minute ago, but I do have that to hand.
There you go. So yeah, I bought a second of that.
This is a total safe queen, but not only is it done beautifully well, it's sort of like engraved and embossed. It's not flat. There's all ridges for the mountains and stuff like that. They just did a really good job on this. You can see the different colors there moving. I could not bring myself to carry that at all, ever.
Yeah, the limited editions are, yeah, it kind of goes back to what I was saying about the preserving thing. It's like if you buy something like that, then you could always use it for trading. But I'm not like massive into the whole limited edition thing anyway. I have a few, but that's not going to be something that I just buy to have. It's got to be something I really enjoy anyway, regardless if it was limited or not. So, but yeah, it's nice to have a couple in your collection. So 41 in the chat. That's right.
So thank you, next sort of one we got new knives versus old knives. So what I mean by this is a good example for this really would be old timer. So I have the 80T USA made and the 80T Chinese made. So although I do have an 80T USA made, which is this is the user, which I will use. I do have a safe queen of it, but if I only had the safe queen, obviously I would be deciding to use the Chinese over it, purely because they don't make the USA made ones anymore. So for me, the import ones are pretty much all users. Not there's anything wrong with them. They're still beautiful knives. They're made really well. They just don't have that sort of finish that if I get the new old stock one out, it makes more sense, doesn't it? They don't have the sort of finish that the old USA made ones had. They're not quite as refined. So you can see the slight differences here. So we have USA on the top and the Chinese on the bottom. See the slight differences there. But if I only had the new old stock of the US, I would not be using it. Well, I don't use it anyway because I've got the user, but this is a safe queen.
I think Elin was trying to say he got a Woody for the mountains.
You got a Woody for the mountains?
Yeah. And Gary's saying that Zach did an amazing job on the new Winter Magic.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
But I have the same 80T pairing as well. But do you know who gave me this 80T, the American one?
It was Randy.
Our moderator. So another massive thank you to Randy. WSG.
This even the Chinese or the Chinese made 80T is a great knife. Like the pulls on mine, the fit and finish on mine is fantastic. There's no gaps at all. Like it's made really well. Blade centering's pretty good. There's no wrap or anything. Like the pull's great. There's got a real nice sheep's foot on it. So I like this is a total work knife for me. I'm happy to use this for work. Blade steel's not the best. It's 7 CR, is it? Is that what the Chinese ones were? Yeah. I think. But so. I mean, I'll carry that Victorinox small sharpener with me. If I need to sharpen it on that, I'm happy to. But I do have the 80T user, which is one that's been used and abused by someone previously. So you can see we've got the patina on the blade. It is worn down a little bit. Not massively. But the sheep's foot blade where it's really used, you'll see now. See there is sort of like a belly forming at the bottom where it curves up. It was like this when I picked it up. Picked it up with intention of it being a user anyway. So, but there's plenty of steel left on there. I've put a nice little edge on it so it's razor sharp. I've got no issues using this. In fact, this is one of my sort of main carries. I just did a video of what I would carry on a typical day, and this is the knife I would pretty much carry. Love a Stockman. I love the idea of having the history in my pocket without having to worry about sort of abusing it too much because I have another one, if that makes sense, without me rambling on too much.
Toad says, I don't currently own any old timers. Really need to correct that.
Yeah, you do. You really need to collect that.
Randy says is that he carries his USA 80T over the Chinese one, so he has both as well.
So cool. I'll tell you one that you should start with. You would really like. I know John will probably back me up on this. 34 OTW.
It's not the W.
The H, is it? Is it OTH?
Keep trying.
What it is? It's the Heritage series, isn't it? Yeah. OTH. You've been a jackass. D2 steel, pick it up.
Thanks.
Definitely pick it up.
I didn't even say anything. I just chuckled and you get all over.
Jackass.
All right. So what else we got here?
Chuck us on the next slide. We got another one.
Hold on. I wanted to read this from Lobster here. He's another new face. I wanted to say hello to him. So hello, Lobster Johnson. I says I collect traditionals because I think they are visually more appealing and hate to tear them up, but I use my moderns daily and don't mind scratching up. That's kind of the same thing for me with my Ganzos, because I don't have that emotional attachment to them. Sometimes they just get to be the ones that are thrashed about on some job that probably would have been better suited for a different tool.
Yeah.
But you know how it is.
Yeah.
You just use what you got.
Looks like Cheeto's changed his name again. He's Cheetamus Prime.
I like that.
That's a great name.
Optimus Prime. Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Randy makes me Randy.
Awesome. Okay, so the next sort of safe queen versus user we've got is, so are some brands more collectible than others? So just for an example, I put Case, Rough Rider, and Arthur Wright and Sons.
Mm-hmm.
So yes and no really is my answer.
That's kind of my answer too. I think we talked about this before, right?
Yeah. So Case knives are generally more collectible, but I have Rough Riders that I collect, and John has them that he collects as well. And I wouldn't say they're any less collectible to me than some of the Case knives I'm going for, or even the old timer collection I'm going for. They're all equally collectible to me for certain reasons. The sow belly, because I love the pattern. I know John's a massive fan of that too, in case you've all been under a rock somewhere. But John pretty much has them all, the Rough Rider sow bellies. The new Spade series. Yeah, all but one. The new Spade series is a series I want to collect all of, just because of how well they've put it out. They've done a fantastic job with it. But then again, Case are more expensive. and they're like in fewer quantity as well, which makes them a bit more collectible as well. So it's quite a difficult topic to discuss, you know, which brands are more collectible, but it all depends on taste. Because I know a lot of people that find case knives or Jack Wolf knives collectible, but I'm not really interested in collecting those at all. Like for me, my GDCs that I've got are all users. I will just use and abuse them. What's your take on this, John?
Yeah, I think when you say collectible, then you start thinking about, like, the first thing I think about is like case, right? Because they sort of make knives to the level of that they have like a collector's club, and you know they just sort of collector centric in terms of their mentality when they make the knives, like the vault patterns, things like that, where they go, oh, we're going to bring this out, then we're going to take it away, and we're going to make them in a bunch of different patterns and dump them all out at you, and then whenever next year comes along, we'll take them all away and
so it seems they are making knives like especially for people to collect.
Yeah,
like it seems they're trying to go down that sort of route.
Right. And they do a good job. Don't get me wrong. I think they do a good job of marketing it that way. But there's a sort of marketed more towards collectors. So if you're talking about collectibles in that sense, then I think they're the leader in that. But if you're just talking about a particular collection that you want to have, you could be something that's not nearly as desirable to another typical general knife collector, like a Rough Rider collection. I don't know of a whole lot of people that have done like the pattern collection thing for a Rough Rider. I've seen like buck collections and things like that, but you know, like say a collection of 110s where everybody tried to get the early variations and all through. We talked a little bit about that last week, but I've never really seen one where, you know, you just collected one particular Rough Rider pattern. So I don't think I'm alone in that, but you know, and how many collections have I actually seen? But I just think that's a lot more unusual than say somebody who just has a large collection of say case knives or something like that. But that doesn't have, like you said, it doesn't define what a collectible is or a collection of particular type of knives is. It really is dependent on the person buying them and how they see it.
So Frank's Olivo's just said that he thinks Boca is collectible. So
sure,
that's what I mean. It's different for every single person. Like I only have 2 Bocas in my collection. I like them a lot. I'm just not a massive fan of the Boca knives. They're great knives. It's not my sort of personal taste. Mimo's just said he collects debt. Excellent.
Yeah, that'll happen too. And Mrs. C says my favorite knife is case always. Of course. You and Mike.
Well, you live with Mike Case Curtis, so
Case
it's gonna be. Gary also said he loves his Boca knife collection.
Sean says you wouldn't have guessed. Victorinox, yeah, there's an unusual number, I think, of Victorinox collectors too. So that would definitely fit into that sort of category, like case. But
I like Victorinox.
Don't forget Wenger.
I have quite a few Wengers. Quite a few Wengers coming through.
I mean, I know they're kind of gone, but it's still very collectible.
I prefer the blade shape on the Wengers, you know.
And I must get a Swiss buck. That it's got to be a purchase to make.
Yes, 100%. I've got one saved in a basket that I'm waiting to see if they have a sale.
Leafy says he's yet to get a case, so that'll be a fun one when you get your first case. That's pretty memorable.
This is a good one. So when Mike Curtis cuts himself, he bleeds case paste.
That's true, Martin. Oh, Sean, I'm sorry. I called him Martin.
Sean.
Yeah. That's true, though.
So Gaz made a comment earlier on I didn't want to go back to. He just collects knives in general. Mikey Newman said he's the same. Pretty much for me. Like I don't have a particular brand I go for. It's just if I like it, I'll just go for it. It doesn't have to be any sort of brand. Like, I've got loads of different brands. Just
Toad says, I
If
have 3 Boker knives, 2 of which were gifts, and one's I now consider save queen since I didn't really use them much.
Yeah.
So I mean,
all my gifted knives are pretty much safe queens now. I don't think I have any that I use a lot.
right. And it just gets to the point you've got so many knives. Even just the kind of the numbers become a thing where it's like, well, I've got some I really enjoy carrying. Do I really need to throw more into the rotation? I suppose I could. How do you feel about just like having you have enough that you have in your rotation? Do you feel like, do you ever have that thought where do I really need to add another to the rotation?
Yeah, pretty much. Like for me, Swiss Army knives, I've got loads. I only really sort of carry 4 very regularly, which is the Pioneer, Pioneer X, Compact, and the Sportsman. Those 4 get pretty much carried at least once or twice a week, depending. But like, there will be the odd occasion where I might carry a Climber, or I might even carry the Farmer X, or just maybe a Cadet. But more often than not, it's going to be one of those 4 I mentioned that I will go to straight away. But I don't really have a need to add any more to it. So really, I could just do every day with a Compact and something else, and just that would be fine.
There's ones like this too that I always bought to use. Like I was never ever going to be concerned about carrying that one. That was definitely just going to be,
It's on my keys.
right.
Love that little
Always
knife
going to
thing.
be,
It's great.
always going to be a user from the moment I got it. So there's some like that too.
Yeah, story about the Awanata. So my father's never really been a knife guy. He saw this little knife and immediately wanted one, and I gifted him one, and he uses it every day. He's bought it to me 3 times to sharpen, and it's D2, which is how much he uses it.
Yeah,
the pull on it is ridiculous for a little knife. It's at least a 7. It's what I call like a small hard use knife, because you can definitely get a lot of stuff done with a blade like that.
It's like a plastic Arthur Wrighton son.
Yeah. And even with it being on the keys, it doesn't bother me. I can put my finger through the key ring, and then it sort of makes it a 4-finger knife then for me, because it's like locked in. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I really need to get a lantern on one. Yeah. So yeah, props to this one. That's a fun little
cool
knife.
Little knife. Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of like maybe a more expensive one also, besides the buck, I have this.
I'll bring you up now.
Well, I guess it would have been at the time, but it's so beat that it's no point in trying to pretend this is anything but a user. It's just it's too worn down to to not consider it to be a user. You can see the blades got that arc to it, kind of like your 80T blade, your sheep's foot.
Yeah.
And it's got some defects in the handle, some little places where the wood's worn away. So it's not a collectible piece, but it's a fun knife to use.
It's your birth year as well, right?
Yeah, this is from 71, so same year.
1871.
All right, just go ahead and get the pine box. Throw me in there.
A wooden heart.
But I really enjoy it. It's kind of like
cool
it's an old timey knife that's cool to carry. So
yeah, full of character, full of history.
Full of character. That's right.
So next we've got sort of sentimentality. I know we've touched on this quite a lot already, but do you have any that you would consider like an heirloom?
Yeah, definitely this one. Like I showed
the
little solo that I got from my father-in-law.
Definitely.
And it's not an expensive knife or anything, but it's cool that he got this in a 2-pack. I want to say from Walmart at some point. It came with I'm not sure what the other knife was, but it was a little larger. I know that. And this was the smaller, and this is the one that he carried. And then he's like, well, yeah, I've got the other one that came with it in the pack. I'll just give you this one. But yeah, I don't think that they made this particular set very long, but it had the jig bone handles that were the limited Walmart exclusives like you have in the canoe. So it's kind of nice that, it's not just an ordinary little solo. It's got the Walmart scales on it. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, he means a lot to me. And we've been friends from the word go. I mean, the first day we met, we hit it off really well. And then I ended up marrying his wife. Or his wife. Jeez. His daughter. What the hell's going on over here?
Let me tell you about marrying older women.
Yeah. No, that wouldn't have worked out. But yeah. So just really really cool little solo knife. 389, I believe this is his. Oh, 379, my bad.
Lobster Johnson's just called you a wife stealer.
I know, right? Horrible human being.
So rarity and availability. Again, we've touched on a lot of these things throughout because a lot of them mesh together really well. So I did mention the what was it that I've got? I did show it earlier quickly. The Queen Shatton Morgan. This one would fit into that category for me because it's not going to be made again. I've only ever seen the one. I know Warthog has got the exact same knife, I think. But apart from that, I've never seen one for sale anywhere else. And this makes it a safe queen for me. But a lot of the stuff, like I mentioned as well, with the Pioneer X, because the silver one's so available, like the availability makes it a no-brainer for me to just use it. Because I can pick one up whenever I want. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
Look at the comment. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, here we go. That's not fair to Mike. That is not nice. HD.
Thank you, Mikey, for gifting a membership. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Mikey. Who got it?
I think Randy got it.
Oh, all right. There, our moderator got one.
Randy, you're back in the club.
Back in
where
the
all
club.
The cool guys are.
Yeah. Oh, that killed me. That took about 3 years off my life right there.
Yeah. But again, you mentioned this earlier, John, as well, the select rotation carry. Like I know you do a lot of that. I do some of it.
Right.
But I don't sort of pick like 4 knives that man, Mikey's just said he wants a refund. I don't have sort of 7 knives that I'll carry. I'll have maybe 3 or 4 in each category that I'll carry. So I've got about 4 sack knives that I'll carry, maybe 2 or 3 Stockmans that I would carry, 3 or 4 modern knives that I would carry. So I'd say my rotation is probably about 20 knives, but they're just chop and change whenever I feel like carrying on the day. For example, today I went with yellow synthetic salt buster and a green compact. That's just what today was.
Like with the 5 thing, what I would do is like pick out very similar style knives. So like I would have a lockback for this week. I would have a Stockman for this week. I would have an old timer for this week. I'd have a Barlow for this week. So it wasn't like I was changing up a whole lot of things in terms of what I would carry. It was just a different knife kind of in the same sort of
in the same sort of
category. Yeah. And then it got to the point where I was like, well, I want to kind of broaden that beyond that. And started just carrying more sacks then too. So now it's just like, it could be anything. I was a lot more organized probably a year ago than I am now. Now I just toss whatever.
I'm not organized.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a lot more. I had a lot more time on my hands to worry about making the perfect EDC carry. But now with this, I have to say, in the winter months, this has been awesome. I've loved this since I bought it.
That's why I carry this little leather thing with the 2 pockets in it. I think it's great.
Right.
Watch City Knives. Do anyone else let mail sit for a few days to just do an unboxing video? No, because I can't do that.
I have done that.
As soon as the knife's here, I want to open it. I did do an unboxing video for the Buck Saunter, but I had to make the video as soon as the knife arrived because I wanted to open the box and look at it. So this is the Saunter. This is one of my modern knives that I carry a lot.
Didn't we see that last week?
We see it every week. Everyone loves a Saunter. I don't care. It's expensive. It's a good knife.
I do like the clip blade on it.
Yeah, it's a nice shape. The
Very
only thing I wish it
British.
had was maybe a half stop, because it does really sort of want to fire on you when it gets to a certain point. But carry it a lot, use it a lot. Happy to
Can we
abuse it.
compare that to an Arthur Wright?
An Arthur Wright?
The
Yes,
clip,
we can.
the blade, just the blade, just the blade.
Got the twisted assisted.
And I didn't ever say, but that's a new shirt you're wearing, isn't it? Or
It
one
is
that's
a
been
new
in the
shirt.
cupboard that you couldn't wear before, but now can.
Because I was too fat. Yes, correct.
Whoa,
So
I wasn't
there's the-
saying that. Why do you have to fill in the blanks with something I'm not saying?
So you can see there's a slight difference, but not so much. Maybe the Arthur Wright has more of a curve up on the end. But they are very similar.
There is some belly to that one, though. Yeah. All right. I was just curious how similar they were. Thank you. That was for me, not for the audience.
No, so
Wee Judd is in the house. What's going on,
no.
Judd?
Hello, Judd. Welcome.
How you doing? But what was that? I got called Thrifty Cadultery.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. That's
Man,
great.
you cannot make a mistake with anything you say in this stream, or people will absolutely annihilate you.
Right. Now we're at the sort of like people understand that we're jackasses. I've got a question for everybody in the channel. So
Oh, no.
I was thinking about, you know exactly what I'm going to say, John. So I was thinking about doing a members only video, right? And it's going to be called Slippy Uncut, where I'm just going to talk exactly how I want about the knife and say whatever I want. Does anyone think they would enjoy that or not?
You mean you don't already do that already?
Well, I have to moderate my language a bit, don't I? I can't just come straight out of the thing.
But you're still on YouTube, so all the same rules apply.
But I think it would be funny.
Why? Because it's behind a paywall and you can't be seen by everyone?
Yes.
Well, YouTube can see it, and guess what?
YouTube
you can get you go. Oh, whoa! Okay, I can't be a part of this.
Okay, moving on. We'll just move on before I get cancelled. John's gone, so that's good.
That's good, huh?
So the final one we've got here is sort of handle material. So
I'm going to
we've
put your
touched
favorite screen up. There we
go.
God,
I will do it. Hey guys, welcome back.
He tortures me with that. Fish eyes. All right, go up. Hold on. I want everybody to get their screen caps ready. Get ready. Ready? Okay, do it now. Go.
Okay. Elon said Cardi became better looking.
No, he really did not. No, he really did not. Okay. So I hope everybody got that captured. But I want to see an email with that photo in it.
I'm sure it'll be in the Discord before long.
Nice to see you enjoyed that as well.
Oh, do you know what, John? Let's just do a giveaway. Do you want to do a giveaway?
All right, let's start the giveaway. All right, are you going to go first?
Sure. Randy, do you want to put the rules up for me, please?
All right, write your number down ahead of time, please.
So everybody from the UK, please, can you put in the chat you're from the UK, so you can get a veto or a vote from someone in the US while John's dying in the corner. So if you're from the UK, please put it in the chat now.
All right. Now, no one knows the range, so don't be trying to guess yet.
Yeah, no trying to guess yet. Mikey, you had to put GB, didn't you? You could have just put UK, like I said. Douche. All right, so... No, Judge, you can enter. Feel free. What shall the range be? I'm just going to do the standard 0 to 100, I think.
0 to 100 for you? Okay.
Yeah. Gaz, Slippy, we mailed you a cap of the picture. Brilliant. So there's a picture somewhere coming.
Excellent.
Oh, mid-knife crisis in the UK. Awesome. Okay, so who we got for the UK? We've got Elan, Mikey Newman, Sean, Gaz FM, Nirmash, Midlife Crisis. I think Retro Stew's in here. All right, so Randy, do you want to put a start up? The range will be from 0 to 100. So yeah,
Okay.
Nemo, I will post the UK prize. So yeah, you can guess for a UK person. Feel free.
All right.
And this is going to be a quick fire giveaway. So another sort of 20 seconds and then we'll stop it. I'm timing.
Wow, 20 seconds. You're not messing around.
I'm messing around today.
Get your numbers in, boys.
15 seconds. 10
boys
seconds.
And girls. Boys and girls.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Randy, chuck a stop, please.
The Wheel of Doom is about
There is
to
the
arrive.
stop. There is the stop.
Okay.
Okay. So,
by the way, how many spins are we doing for the winner?
2.
2 spins? Okay.
So here is my number.
77, folks. 77.
And let's see if I can find anyone with anything close to that. Okay, so we have 35, 27, 74 for Elan.
Okay. 74 for Elan. It's up 74, Elan. See that?
It looks like Elan was 74.
Elan. Congrats to Elan. He was the closest.
Definitely Elan was 74. Congratulations, Elan. So I will bring up the Wheel of Doom. Let me remove the slides from the stream 1 sec before that causes 8,000 tons of lag. Okay. Can you let me know if you can see the wheel sharing okay?
Yes.
Excellent.
I can.
So are we ready for 2 spins on the wheel?
But you got the wrong
spin 1.
thing up. There we go. Laggy.
It's number 16, the Rough Rider slip joint. So this is, some reason the picture's not showing. So it's a little modern slip joint. I will show a picture of that before the end of the live. So there's number 16, the Rough Rider slip joint. Make a note of that. Will you make a note of that for me, John? Is that all right?
Sure. 16.
Spin 1. Spin number 2. Ooh, good one. And the Appaloosa Senator.
Nice. Very nice.
Number 8. So 16 and 8. Well done, Elan. There's 2 knives on its way to you.
Excellent.
Hide that choice.
Congrats, Elan. That's fantastic. Nice win on that one.
2 really great prizes. Awesome stuff. So, Randy, do you want to get the US? That's it.
US rules up.
No, you're more than welcome, Elan. You're more than welcome.
Congrats, Elan. That was fantastic. Nice, Senator. I love that knife.
Yeah, big old belly on that blade. while we're here, I can show the Senator. It's here somewhere. So here is the Senator.
Awesome.
Big old fucking Bailey on that.
Whoa.
Didn't say anything.
What are you doing over there? Yeah, he did. Dropping F-bombs.
Real great knife. So congratulations. One of those on its way to you.
Is that what that raw and uncut's going to be like?
Possibly, I'd imagine so.
Well, they've got their money's worth already then. Where's the other one?
The other one, I'll have to get that out in a minute.
Everybody else caught it too. Look, F-bombs, F-bombs.
No,
F-bombs.
no one heard anything.
Yep,
I don't know what
right
you're all
there.
talking
Boom.
about. I don't know what you're all talking about.
Toad knows what he heard. You don't know where it is? Okay.
I know where it is. I'll have to go and get it.
All right. Well, we're not going to wait for that. Doing a live show here.
So what's your range, John?
My range is 600 to 700. So go ahead and throw that up. And once you see the range put up there, you can begin guessing. And we're going to have 2 minutes to get that number up.
2 minutes. Generous.
No, maybe less. You better hurry.
Okay, the start is up. And I'm timing 2 minutes from now.
Okay. Thank you, Randy. Perfect. It's on the ball, isn't he? Is there a better moderator? No? We can't find another monkey to do this job?
Look what Splitting Slices has put. Raw, Slippy, and cheap adultery.
Thanks. Cheap adultery. Not just thrifty, but cheap.
Okay, we are 1 minute in. You have 1 minute remaining.
All right. We're getting close.
You have 30 seconds left.
2 minutes might be too long, huh?
All right, so right. Randy, you ready for a stop? Whenever you typed it, chuck it in. Awesome.
Okay,
Stop's in
there's
there.
the stop. So here's our number.
$682.
682. I saw somebody was really close. I saw somebody was really 683 for Judd, and he was doing that for splitting slices for Byron. Anybody closer than that?
What do you have?
681.
Yeah, there's a
681.
Oh, it's also for splitting slices.
Well, it won't matter, will it?
Nope.
He's won twice. That's a new achievement. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No.
So congratulations, Byron. You have won and won again. So 2 spins coming your way, Byron. Now, Byron, before I begin, if you don't want anything, let me know and we can give it to someone else. If you do want it, just say nothing at all, I guess. And they're yours. Because I know he's donated knives before, so. Or are you just going to wait to see what you win first? Maybe you want to keep what you get, right?
Yeah,
all right.
I would do that.
Let's do that. Spins. All right, spin number 1 for Byron.
Oh, God, the noise. Oh, God, don't talk. Oh, what is that?
Congratulations. The 50TH is yours. That's a hell of a knife, boy. One I carry all the time. All right. So write that one down. Number 32. Would you get that for me?
Yes, sir. 32.
All right. Spin number 2. Here we go. All right. Well, it looks like all you've won because you pulled a Randy and cut yourself. All right. Blame Randy. I blame Randy.
It's all Randy's fault, Byron. We're sorry.
All right. So the 5 OTH goes to Byron. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you won a nice one there. D2 steel. Of course, this is the one we're talking about.
Yeah, it's a cool knife.
The good one. So congrats, Byron. But yeah, what a show. What a show. Had a lot of fun today.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
We're great. I'll say hello to Mrs. C again. Wishing you well, Mrs. C. And hoping that Toad feels better. Had kind of a, I don't know, maybe a little rougher week than most weeks for him. So hope he's feeling better about the situation. And just everybody who came in today, not some couple of new faces. Good to see some new people come in. Glad you were able to get in here at the end there, Judd. Always good to see you, sir.
Thank you, Kevin. I've seen the email pop up. I haven't had a chance to check it yet. I will have a look.
Okay. But I think I've got Byron's email, so I'm not too worried about whether I get that email by the end of the stream or not.
Oh, you 100% have got it. You definitely.
Yeah, I got Byron's email already, so you can send you can send it to me, Byron. But you know, if you don't, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, Elan, I definitely don't need yours. I think we're good at this point.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Toad. Very much so, sir. And yeah, well wishes for Mrs. C, and you're very welcome for all the thoughts and prayers, sir. But is that going to do it for you, buddy? You got anything else you want to talk about?
That's pretty much it. No, I'm good. Just enjoyed the live. Appreciate everyone coming by to watch.
We can look forward to more membership content from you then.
Yeah, there'll be some stuff coming out. I might just go all unhinged and we'll have a laugh at it.
Okay. You want to give me? I want to give a really quick little sneak peek of my next review, really quick. There you go. Look forward to that, guys.
Nothing else. We're not saying anything else about it.
That'll be the next review. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for coming in.